Hello everyone, it's August 24th. I passed the dissertation defense today, so finally a long journey has ended. Feel happy? Feel ready to engage in a new one, but at the meantime, I need to enjoy life a little bit, so I'm only gonna do one problem today. I think I'll take like kind of vacation from now, maybe a week, but it won't be like completely off. I still have some projects I want to do, but just be chill. I'll probably pick up some games I always want to play for a while, and just chill. But have to apply for jobs and all that. But overall, it's I think the first time that I can finally relax. To know that it's a one big burden that's being off, feels good. Now we still have some paper in the pipeline that we need to push out. There's still some other things I need to help, but I mean the next semester will be probably the first time that's just you don't have to have I won't have any immediate worry. That's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. All right, let's take a look at this interleaving string. Given S1 and S2 and S3, Jesus, and find whether S3 is formed by an interleaving of S1 and S2. My God, a lot of string problem in the early LeetCode problems. Interleaving of two string is a configuration where S and T are divided into N and M substrings respectively, such that this and this. So N minus M has to be smaller equal to 1, which means they can only be, they're either equal number of substrings or one substring, one of them has one more substring than the other. The interleaving is S1, T1, S2, T2, all the way down, or that's why N minus M's absolute value is smaller equal to 1. Okay, so we have AABCC, DBBCA, and then we can interleave that. That's a true. Second one is a false. Yeah, let's not worry about the space or anything. Let's just try to solve it first. So, what are we thinking about this? We have an S3, so we want to form S3. So S3, and we have S1 and S2. So maybe, I don't know, DP? You want to try DP? Like, the question is, given the start of S1, the start of S2, and let's say a start in S3, 3 of them, right? Well, can we just say 3 levels? 100 or 100, ugh. Not really. It's just the start of S1 and start of S2, and see if we can form, because we know the total length, right? We know the total length of S1, total length of S2, and that can already determine where the start of S3 is going to be, right? If S1 we start with 0, S2 we start with 0, so S3 has to start with 0, right? If S1 we start at 1, S2 we start at 1. Then S3 will have to start, we cannot do the first 2, then S3 will start at 2, right? Something like that. So we already handled that. Okay, so if we do DP, we can say dpij is whether it's possible to interleave S starting from, what's the start? We can call, but it has to be it has to be n minus n has to be smaller or equal to 1, right? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So yeah, we can do that. Let's say S1. This is S1. Hold on. This is S1. A B C C. S2 is D B B C A. S3 is A D B B C B C A C. Right? So we want to know dp00. Right? That's what we want to know. Is dp00 true or false? Then to do that, I can say if dp 1 0, dp1 0, if that is true, it shouldn't be like that is true. Maybe we should no, because if that is true, it doesn't really say anything, right? Yeah, that's true. We have to say not only that is true, but if it starts with S1 or starts with S2. So I should look for, let's say, starts with S1 0. So we can say dp 0 0 0. That's start with S1, right? And start with 0 0. Or dp 0 0 1. We start with S2. Right? One of them, if it's true, then we can say true. And to do that, then we say is dp, let's say 1. We start from 1, right? On S1, and S2 is 0. If that, so 1 0, and we start with S2. Because if I start with S1, then it's not interleaving. So it has to start with S2. So if that is true, right? Or if dp 0 1 0, if that is true, then we also work. So yeah, so we call these, and of course we can also say if the first 2 or the first 3, right? First 4, I would just keep doing this. Then maybe you look great. Yeah, maybe. Right, so the runtime will just be m times n. Well, of course, m is the length of S1, n is the length of S2, m times n, and times 2, right? Because every time we have 2 more states. What is the edge case? Well, the edge case when, let's say, when I, or like the index for S1 goes to the end, because if it's the last one, we can still try. But if it goes to the end, we exit, which means we don't have any S1, we don't have S2 left. Then that's not interleaving, right? So that will return false. You think it's gonna work? Maybe it will work. Let me think. Let me think one more time. Right? Will this work? We just keep going. Right? We keep going down. We have the index on the top, index on the bottom. I say, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this, right? And then every time I always say, give me this much S1. I always say there's this possible. When we get this, we say, give me this S2. But we never really do S2, right? We never really do S2. Every time we'll just change on S1. Because we just say, giving I and J, right? I'll do this and do J. Do this, do this, do J, right? Once we're done, maybe we need to move J forward. Move J forward. Yeah, we should also move J forward, right? So J starts from the start, and then I we can move forward. Or you know what? Maybe wait. I is set, and J starts moving forward. So in this line is say, once we're done with all of them, and all the way go to the last one, right? All the way go to the last one. And if we go to the last one, yeah, I think this is the edge case. I need to figure out the edge case. The edge case is if I have only one letter in one string and a bunch of letters in the other string, whenever you present that, and there's only one way to create a substring. So I shall, that's actually going to be true, right? So let's say we're saying A, B, C, C. That's one. And the other one is just D by itself. We want to have one. And if that's the case, then yes, that's possible. Because we can always create an interleaving. Well, whoever is leading, it doesn't really matter, right? Whoever is leading. But if we have two, we have more. I mean, it's not now. We have to fit into the target. Yeah, I forgot about the target. So we have to go through one of them to see if it matches. Yes, that's the difficult part. We need to see if it matches. Right? We have an I and J, and we have to see who matches. Because someone has to match. If it doesn't match, then we cannot. Yeah, so we try to match on one of them. If we can match one, we can package it up, try again. We match two, we package it up, try it again. We match three, we package it, match until we cannot match, right? And we try. Or we can match on the other side. That's not true. That's not true because every time we pass in, we know which side we have to try. So for example, in this case, right, AA, BCC, and DBBCA, we can call to match starting from 0 or to match I'm going to call to start matching from this or start matching from this. If I start matching from this and they have matching from the start and it doesn't match, so that immediately returns false. Only this can, so we can match an A. So we can say, okay, we grab A, then we have ABCC and a DBBCA to match starting from this, right? And we have to match starting from here, and boom, doesn't work. So that one doesn't work. Okay, I think this will work, but if we Java this thing, if we Java this thing, probably don't work. No, I'm just gonna test it. Okay, let's Java this thing. How? It's going to be DP, right? It's going to be a DP, and I'm most certain we're gonna write it as this. Oh God. Oh, man. That's okay. So we'll set it up. Say this dot memo equals, hold on, int m equals s1 dot length, int n equal to s2 dot length. Right, we set up the 2 length. Then what? We set up the 2 length we don't need S3 honestly. And because we do this, I need string S1, string S2, and string S3. All right, so this memo equals new int 2 because we have 2, and then m n. This dot s1 equals s1. This dot s2 equals s2. This dot s3 equals s3. Okay, this is our setup. And then we're gonna call a function. Right? What is the function? The function, we call it private. Okay, boolean. Oh, that's not an int. That's a boolean. That's a boolean thing. Okay, so boolean, we call it dp. Int I, int j, int which type. Okay, whatever it is. Then in here we're just gonna call dp 0 0, right, 0 0 1 0 0 0. So we shall return this or dp 0 0 1. That's it. Simple as that. Now we're gonna handle this dp thing. Okay. In fact, I probably don't need this. You know what? Yeah, I don't need to do it this way. M n is $2 length. Okay. All right. So apparently, if something we're passing in and it's out, right? If it's out, like I is out. If I is out or J is out, and that means the current one we have a start. We can only have it by itself. If this by itself, we'll just start by itself. So yeah, so I say if I, yeah, this is very, very tricky, right? Very, very tricky. If I is towards the end, if I is at the end, okay, and then if I is the end, J is the end, how do you deal with that? I is the end, J is the end, doesn't really matter, and that's always going to be good. So we can just say if I is equal to S1 length and J is equal to S2 length. Whenever that happens, that shall return true, right? And then we say if I is equal to S1 length and J is smaller than S2 length. So we have J left, right? And okay, then we shall return type is equal to 0. So in this case, if we want to start from S1 and we have no, if we so we don't have any S1 but we have some S2, then if we want to start from S2, which you can put, that's not right. What we need to do is, if that's the case and type is equal to 0, right? So we don't have anything left for S1, but we want to start from S1. But that I can figure out. Right? I can figure out because I won't be able to get anything out of it. You know what? That's probably not going to be a not going to be a big issue, right? Yeah. So I mean, just depending on what type is, right? And we can say if then we start will be, yeah, I probably need to use Boolean. If memo type ij is not equal to null, which means we've done it before, we return memo type ij. This is memorization. Otherwise, right, we say if type is equal to 0, right? So this is a must use S1 first. Then we just go through the whole thing, right? Then we can say int k shall equal to, because we have I and j, tell me how many on I, like a 2, how many on j, let's say 3. So these we have done 3, so 2 plus 3 is 5, right? So that shall actually we have 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 done, so 5. So this shall be I plus j, right? So this is the index for S3. Then we basically say we have to use S1 first. Then for int I equal to 0, no, equal to I smaller than S1 dot length, I plus plus, right? So we have this. We say if dp, not dp, if S1 dot char at I is equal to S3 dot char at k plus I minus I, right? Because we're moving forward. So I, right? And then we move forward, we move forward, move forward. So we check. If they're equal, then we can say the current I use this, and then we throw the next one. We throw dp, the remainder, right? What's the remainder? I am at II, right? I am at II, and it's equal. So I used II. I used II, so I need to do II plus 1, right? I need to do II plus 1. So I should do II plus 1. Yeah, next I used II. I do I plus 1. J doesn't change, and I need to swap to 1, right? So we need to say if this is true, right? If this turns out to be true, then we shall say memo 0 ij, right? Basically this is equal to true, and then we'll break. Okay, so it's one of them. So we just keep going, keep going, keep going. And we probably should start by setting memo type ij set it to false. So as we go, right, as long as it works, I'll set it to true. If it doesn't work, then we try the next one, then we try the next one until we find one that doesn't match, right? Else, if it doesn't match, then we just break. So we go, and then we find something that does not match, and it just fail. We cannot keep matching, and it just fail. So that is that, and otherwise we can say else, right? If type is a 1, so we say we must use S2 first. So we can say for int jj equal to j, jj is smaller than S2 dot length, jj++. Again, if s2.char at jj is equal to s3.char at k plus jj minus j, if it's equal, then we put this to dp. That's going to be I, jj plus 1, type should be 0, because next time we have to ask for the s1. And I would say memo 1, ij, shall equal to true, right? And no break. I mean, in fact, we don't really have to. We can just do type, right? We can just do type here. And our break. And of course, if we find this first one that doesn't match, then there's no way we'll continue. Then we just exit. And once we're done, we just return memo type I and j. That's kind of the memo. And okay, let's run this thing. See if it works. Yeah, I'll just use both. Let's kind of see. Does this work? Index out of bounds. Oof. Which one out of bounds? S1.length. S2.length. Oh, I see. Oof. I know what problem it is. If both return true, that's fine. So if both are smaller, maybe it is important. Maybe it is important for us to get this a little bit bigger. Okay, maybe we need to get this one a little bit bigger. Maybe it'll be easier for us to reason, right? If we get it, let's say we get it a bit bigger. Okay, now we get a bit bigger, and we can basically say mammal 0 s1 dot length s2 dot length equal to 0, now equal to true, and mammal 1 s1 dot length s2 dot length equals true, right? We set up the edge cases, and then we don't need to do this. We probably can do this. All right, let's try this. Does this one work? The hell? Hold up. I didn't copy the entire thing. Yeah, the most it can get is the same. I think I won't have the same issue. All right, these two seems to be correct. Do we dare? I think I tested all of this. All right, let's try this. First shot, 2021. And I got error. Okay, what is this? This is empty, empty, and an A. Oh. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, this is not right. This is not right. But if we don't do this, yeah, and if it's empty, and then we still have something left on, yeah, it depends. I think it depends on this, whether S3 dot is empty, right? If S3 is empty, then I think it should be right. No. That's not right. This will be false. What do you want? What I'm trying to say is, if this is empty and this is empty, right? And then, oh yeah, if these two are empty, then, oh, that's a different situation. It's not possible to begin with. The length is not the same. And if S1 length plus S2 length, right, is not equal to S3 length, it never really say they are the same. That actually print false. That can handle this edge case. Otherwise, it will always work. If S1, S2, the length is the same, then when we consume all of them, then this will be right. Okay, let's try this. It's correct. It's correct. Let me first copy and paste this whole thing. So put it here, then we can start writing. I think this edge case setup here is a good practice because that really makes the DP cleaner, right? Alright, I want to also see what I did last time. Last time was July 7th, 2022. And I did it 21st. Wow, look at the whole path. The first time I did it, June 2nd, 2021. Second time, July 7th, July 6th actually, that's when we start, 2022. And this time is August 24th, like once a year. Once a year. 97, right, 97. So, DP. DP, the function, right, DP ij type reports whether it is possible to interleave S1 I to the n and S2 j to the end with S1 or S2, and this is determined by type, whether S1 or S2 must start the current interleaving. Yeah. With S1 S2 must start with the current interleaving. Then, and a solution, right? Then the solution is just DP 000 or DP 001, where type equal to 0 means S1 starts first, and type equal to 1 means S2 starts first. The edge case that I forgot to consider initially is when the length of S1 and S2, the sum of the length does not equal the length of S3. 2 mn. Actually, no, because at each point I have to go through. But we fit as much as we can, and then we go to the next. So the total number of states is of course ij type, but the actual number of, because at each state we have to go through some stuff, right? So at each state and then we go one, and then we go to the other one. So if they're all equal, right, the worst case is just the same as the AAA and BBB, AAA for S3 and then S1, S2, they're all A's, which means it's possible, right? And then we can just, well, that's actually fine because everyone will only hit one, hit one, hit one, hit one, hit one, hit one, and then we'll pass. Actually, I'm not quite sure about the runtime. Maybe it'll be cleaner the runtime if we do a bottom up, which I think is what was required, because the requirement is we also use the additional space gets a bit smaller. Maybe 02 mn, but I'm not very sure about that. I think it probably is, but yeah, not quite sure about it. Okay, I take a look at so 1 year ago. Yeah, the two solutions in the past. Oh wow, that was. Yeah, I think I can turn this into a better DP. I didn't do that, but this is true. 1, 2, 3. That is true. If I1 is smaller than N1, if I1 is smaller, and then if these two are the same, so I1 and I and the 3, so this and this, they are the same, then we shall n helper this return true. If this, return true, otherwise return false. Look at that. That is a much smaller. I mean, we are doing the same thing, but okay, I agree, that one's better. That one's much better. So what was the one that I said was stupid? I mean, I didn't really solve it, I guess. I mean, I didn't even see your solution this time. I just have timeout and stuff. I think I did better than last time. Okay, what do we want to do? Well, 25, today is Java. Okay, that's definitely solution 1. And we shall do a solution 2, right? We can do all this, DP, now we try change it, IJK, right? And we'll change the entire thing. Well, not necessarily the entire thing. I think we shall do if IJK is not null, then we return IJK. That's fine. Otherwise, you know what? I'll probably leave this for tomorrow.
No.
Yeah. No, I'll probably leave this for tomorrow. That's good. I mean, I think it's important to leave this for tomorrow. Yeah. We'll do this some other time. All right. That will be it. I want to end it. I want to relax. I want to go to bed. It's chill. I'm in vacation, true vacation mode. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.